And now, Raw and SmackDown present WWE Backlash. Welcome everybody to Backlash, the stars of Raw and SmackDown all under one roof, one-on-one at ringside as always, and a gigantic show for you guys this evening. 6 matches in total, 5 of those being championship matches, including the 2 World Championship matches for the 2 biggest prizes in sports entertainment today. But you can see already at ringside, the special guest referee for the WWE Championship match, Stone Cold Steve Austin, riding his ATV to the ring. You did expect to see Austin until later on in the show, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Rattlesnake has got in store as we open up Backlash. This pay-per-view has been a long time coming, long awaited, but hopefully the pay-per-view will deliver. So much going to be happening this evening. Championship after championship is going to be defended. You can hear the fans in attendance in this full capacity arena. Glad to see the Rattlesnake back because it has been some time since we have seen Steve Austin in a WWE ring. And just a matter of moments, we're going to hear what the former world champion has got to say. The crowd shouting they want Austin. It's been some time now since Austin's wrestled a match in the squared circle. Austin, of course, been out of injury now since the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Austin not yet medically cleared to compete this evening. It's only a matter of time until the Rattlesnake is going to be back in action over on the Raw brand. Not the first time we've seen Sheriff Austin, it's been a while, but the Sheriff is back in town it seems. Austin promising a fair championship match this evening. Of course, the Rock along with Vince McMahon, but the board of directors have put Steve Austin in control of that one. And Steve Austin promising that WWE Championship match will be a fair match later on in the show. But enough talk, about to get into some action now. The first contest of the evening and the first championship match of the night. It is going to be Dolph Ziggler defending his WWE United States Championship against the £300 Ryback. So Dolph Ziggler now winning this US Championship 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. Dolph defeating The Miz in that steel cage. Of course, a lot of history there between the Dolph and The Miz. Both guys former tag team partners in the awesome Show of Tag Team. Dolph and The Miz feuded last year. That feud never really got concluded until the fans voted both Dolph and The Miz into that vacant US Championship match, which of course Dolph Ziggler came out victorious. About to make his way to the ring now, the challenger this evening, Ryback. On the last week's edition of SmackDown, he defeated Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel and The Miz in a 4-man over the top rope battle royal to determine who would be getting this championship match this evening. Ryback victorious, and now the near 300 pounder going to be looking to get his first taste of gold in the WWE. Ryback wearing that new gold ring attire this evening. Could the gold be a sign of things to come for Ryback? We will see. Ryback, of course, the much bigger man, the much stronger man, but Dolph Ziggler, the current US champion and a former Intercontinental champion as well, is one of the best pro athletes we've got in the WWE and potentially one of the best ones you've ever seen in the history of the company. But we are underway. Ryback, Dolph Ziggler. This one for the SmackDown WWE United States Championship. Ryback. Oh, taking Ziggler down like that. A huge clothesline. Taking the champion down. And again, that big shoulder barge. Picking the champion back to his feet. But Ziggler, Irish foot reversal. Ryback off the ropes. Oh, but in the end, Ryback with that spear almost. Taking Ziggler down. The show off certainly got his work out this evening. The Dolph on the apron. Going to be good on the top rope. Oh, go for that famous, but cannot connect. Instead, Ryback catching him in midair into that powerbomb. A powerbomb surrounding the match could be devastating for the champion, but that time Ryback not able to hit with that shell shot maneuver. Instead, Dolph Ziggler reversing it. Drop kick, and now the clothesline. The champion now finally trying to get momentum on his side. Ryback trying to cut him off, not to beat, and Ziggler for the second time. This time connects. That's super famous off that top rope. Big man in trouble. Ziggler. Oh, but Ryback putting that top rope down. Ziggler onto the outside of the ring now. What an opening contest this one has been so far. And Ziggler tasting the still. Ryback there. The 300-pound Big Hungry. Going to work on the current reigning and defending United States Champion. These two superstars, part of the SmackDown brand. But this pay-per-view is, of course, double branded. So not only will this pay-per-view feature SmackDown wrestlers, but Raw wrestlers as well. As I mentioned at the top of the show, this show is going to be featuring 6 matches. 5 of those matches being championship matches, including the 2 biggest championships in wrestling today. Of course, I'm talking about the World and WWE World Championships. But back into this one, Ryback looking to get Ziggler again, but Ziggler, the much speedier competitor on this one, not taking it. And that time, Ryback going to the well one too many times, and Ziggler off the apron, taking Ryback down with that big clothesline off the side of the ring. And now is the time for the show off to go to work on the big man, and that is exactly what he's doing. Into the cover. Ryback out after only one though. Oh, and Dolph Ziggler trying to follow up, but not to be. Ryback now with that modified Lou Thesz press, as only Ryback can do. Ryback, one of those dominant superstars on this roster. It's also got to be noted, previously Dolph Ziggler hasn't been particularly liked by the WWE fans. But there's almost a newfound respect for Ziggler because he's been in the company now surprisingly long. And as we do find the veterans in the WWE, eventually it's only a matter of time before they get that respect and get that praise. And that's exactly what we are seeing this evening. Ryback, as we can hear, a slightly mixed reaction tonight. Clearly some Ryback fans, but some anti-Ryback fans as well. So the crowd pretty evenly split on this one. The crowd loving the match either way. Ryback now in the corner. Dolph Ziggler. Oh, going for that famous splash in the corner. That Stinger-like splash there. Of course, many rumours currently of Sting going to the WWE. Hopefully some more news on that soon. But Dolph Ziggler, who borrowed that Stinger splash, now calling Ryback to his feet. Going to be hitting that zigzag possibly. Going for it now. Ryback doesn't want any part of that zigzag. Instead, the elbows to the face of Ziggler, sending Ziggler now onto the apron. And now it looks like, yep, connects with it. A suplex from the apron back into the ring by Big Hungry. And now Ziggler, who waited for that zigzag moments ago, now finding himself in big trouble. Oh, Ryback. That gorilla press into the power slam. And you can hear the crowd chanting, "We want Ziggler." And now they're chanting, "Feed me more." As I said, this crowd very mixed. And as I'm saying that, Ryback nearly decapitated Dolph Ziggler there with that huge meteor clothesline, calling Ziggler to his feet. We could be seconds away from getting a brand new US champion, but again, Ziggler doesn't want any part of it, as does Ryback, not wanting part of that zigzag. Ryback again back in control. Irish whip to Ziggler. Ziggler. Oh. What the hell was that? Either way, into the cover. Oh, and he's got it. Ziggler with the counter into that cradle. Somehow managing to get the 1, 2, 3. You've got to think Ryback is going to be furious about how this match has ended. Ryback in control for the majority of the match. Only for Ziggler in the end getting the 1, 2, 3. The crowd happy with the outcome. You can hear a standing ovation for both Dolph and Ryback. A great match by these two great competitors. But oh, Dolph Ziggler showing some respect, but Ryback does not want any part of that respect shown. Ryback, now who we said before had a mixed reaction. The crowd now completely booing the big man. Ryback got him up. Oh, and a huge shell shock. A shell shock to Dolph Ziggler, who has just successfully defended his United States Championship at Ryback. Clearly a sore loser. Dolph is just helpless. The US Champion helpless in this assault of Ryback. And what the hell is Ryback doing? Oh, don't do it, Ryback. Surely not. Oh, and he gets it, the boot. The big boot, sending Dolph's skull into that ring post. And of course we know the history with Dolph and concussions, so that is going to be a horrific injury there for Dolph Ziggler. Obviously we wish Dolph a speedy recovery, but despite how this one looks now, Dolph Ziggler is leaving Backlash still the WWE United States Champion. We are going backstage, and from Ryback to a man Ryback has drawn many comparisons to, Bill Goldberg arriving at the arena. Of course, Bill Goldberg in that huge WWE Championship match this evening. He is going to be taking on The Rock, the defending champion. Of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the special guest referee for that huge match. From the US Championship, we're going to be going to the Intercontinental Championship. This time over on the Raw side, we've got a submission match continuing this historic feud between the champion Chris Jericho and the challenger Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero. These two certainly no strangers from each other. If you've been a viewer for a long time now, you would know these two have been having a historic rivalry over the last year or so. These two feuded all last year over both Raw and even on ECW in the end. They feuded over the European Championship originally, and then later on in the feud, in the end actually had a loser leaves the WWE match, which Chris Jericho won. Eddie Guerrero finding himself on ECW, yet the feud did continue. And then more recently, both guys finding themselves back on the same brand again, of course, that being Raw. And this time, these two feuding over the then vacant Intercontinental Championship, which of course Jericho is now the champion. Jericho becoming champion actually by defeating Latino Heat on Raw several weeks ago now. They did have a follow-up match, which was a ladder match for that championship, which Chris Jericho was yet again successful in. And when all looked lost for Latino Heat, in the end Vince McMahon giving Eddie one more chance in that tag team match on the last edition of Raw, which Latino Heat ended up getting the win over Y2J, therefore getting himself one final shot this evening at the Intercontinental Championship. But if Latino Heat loses this match, he is not going to be getting any more matches with Chris Jericho or for the Intercontinental Championship anytime in the near future. So this truly is the last shot for Eddie Guerrero at Chris Jericho and at becoming the Intercontinental Champion. Like I said before, these two feuded all last year, match after match, great match after great match, I've got to say. So these two guys know each other extremely well. Like I said before though, despite the many matches these guys have had, we've never really had that one final concluded winner of the feud. So these two, even 18 months later, still feuding. But whether or not this feud will be ending will remain to be seen. But nonetheless, these two every single time do produce classic matches. They wrestle back at Bad Blood, They were involved in a 6-man tag team match back at Armageddon, an epic table match at the ECW reunion pay-per-view, and then the loser leaves title match back at Bragging Rights, which unfortunately for Eddie Guerrero he lost, but as we found out shortly after, Latino Heat was back and straight back in the face of Chris Jericho. But here we go, we're underway already. Jericho sending Eddie onto the apron. Jericho off the springboard with a drop kick, taking Latino Heat down to the outside of the ring. Jericho, of course, the Intercontinental Champion, also a former European Champion, and more importantly, a former World Champion. Jericho back in 2001, pinning The Rock and Steve Austin the same night at the Vengeance 2001 pay-per-view, becoming the first ever undisputed World WWE Champion. But times have changed since that point. Jericho since then has become a record-setting Intercontinental Championship holder. Jericho, of course, champion yet again, and going to be looking to successfully retain that championship for a record number of times. Easier said than done though over Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero, who was also a former world champion. Eddie defeating Brock Lesnar at the No Way Out pay-per-view back in 2004. Despite only being a one-time WWE champion, Guerrero is a former US, IC, tag team and even championships back from the WCW days, so Latino Heat definitely no slouch. Both men varied wrestlers, yet similar at the same time. Both men very technical, but many different varied moves in their arsenal, which we're going to be seeing this evening. Eddie was feeling the crowd, but Jericho the walls of Jericho locked in. This is a submission match, so Jericho desperate to get the submission on Latino Heat. Sending Jericho off the ropes. Leapfrog. Jericho the reversal. Into that Flora neck breaker. Jericho again going downstairs, trying to soften up those legs, soften up those limbs for the devastating walls of Jericho. That move winning Jericho many championships over the years. One of the most successful submission maneuvers in WWE and general wrestling history as well. But Latino Heat also has a submission move in his arsenal. The lasso from El Paso. Maybe not quite as known as much as the walls of Jericho, but have no doubt about it, it is a devastating submission as well. And as I'm saying that, we are seeing it. The lasso from El Paso locked in to the Intercontinental Champion. But Jericho that time, too strong, forced Eddie to relinquish the hold. And again, another neck breaker that time by Jericho. This match does continue. As said before, these two men no strangers to each other, having many matches this year and last year. That of course though guaranteeing this match to be one of the best matches of this Backlash pay-per-view. And so far it's got to be said, neither guy disappointed. Jericho goes for that lion salt onto the outside of the ring, but Latino Heat out of the way. Latino Heat avoiding that lion salt. Eddie now on the apron. Oh, Hurricanrana. The running Hurricanrana off the side of the ring, and you can hear the crowd. Eddie Guerrero, a huge fan favourite. And again, another head scissors takedown. Jericho, the Intercontinental Champion, could be in trouble. But just as Eddie is going to continue the assault, Jericho ducking it, grabbing Eddie. And now Jericho's turn. 6 or 7 right hands there by the Ayatollah of Rock and Roll Up. And now Jericho going to be looking for that double arm backbreaker, it looks like. Eddie though reversing it into the Samoan drop onto the outside of the ring. This could be Eddie's chance now. Get Jericho in the ring and lock in that submission move and become the brand new champion. And that is potentially what Eddie is going to be doing here. Again, working on the limbs, that time, not the leg but rather the arm. But just as Jericho is about to be picked to his feet, the thumb to the eye. Referee Charles Robinson can't do much about it. This match is a submission match, and there is also no disqualifications. Eddie fighting back though, and now trademark Latino Heat. The crowd in attendance going insane. They are witnessing the three amigos. He's hit the second, and there we go. He's hit all three. The three amigos by Latino Heat. And now the former world champion going to the top rope, clearly going to be feeling froggy. Oh, but he cannot connect. Jericho out of the way of the frog splash. Latino Heat crashing and burning. And now Jericho. This is trademark Jericho. The power bombs dating back to the WCW days. We saw Eddie hit the three amigos, while Jericho going one better, hitting the three power bombs. Jericho off the middle rope and the lion salt. Another trademark Jericho move. The end could be here for Latino Heat. Jericho looking for the walls of Jericho, but nope, Eddie not allowing Jericho to get the walls of Jericho locked in. And now the monkey flip. Jericho vulnerable. Eddie going straight back downstairs. The last from El Paso locked back in again. Is the champion going to be tapping out this time? Oh, Jericho again showing great leg strength there. It's got to be said, Jericho, a submission specialist. Much more so than Eddie Guerrero. Jericho again. Oh, more signature moves by Jericho. The double arm backbreaker finally connecting. Jericho, the defending champion, back in firm control of this contest. Of course, this match, the second match of the evening. In the first match, we just saw Ryback unsuccessfully challenge Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship. Of course, Ziggler winning that contest. But Ryback attacking Dolph after the match, sending Dolph crashing into that ring post. And we are hearing Dolph has suffered yet another concussion. But back into this one, we just saw Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero hit that frog splash. About to pick Jericho to his feet, but yet again Jericho with a thumb to the eye. And once again, referee Charles Robinson cannot do anything about it. Eddie hard out the corner. Jericho going off the walls. Jericho, nope. Latino Heat again. And Eddie with a head-scissor takedown. Y2J down yet again. This match does continue. Both men lend their bodies, their heart, their souls on the line. Both men still to their feet. Jericho standing head off the ropes. And there we go. Jericho taking Eddie down yet again. I said before, this match is a no DQ match. So Jericho taking the pad in there off the steel turnbuckle pad. Referee cannot do anything about it. So the steel has been exposed. Eddie now in the corner. This is not good for Latino Heat. Jericho going for the clothesline, cannot connect. Jericho's head bouncing off that steel ring. Now Latino Heat. Oh, he connects with it. The gory bomb. That move, of course, famous in the Guerrero legacy. And again, the lasso from El Paso locked in. Oh, next time Jericho tapping. Jericho's tapping. Eddie Guerrero's done it. Jericho bouncing off the steel into the gory bomb, then into the lasso from El Paso. And those three moves are enough to bring home the Intercontinental Championship to the Eddie Guerrero family. Eddie once again a champion here in the WWE. Latino Heat once again defeating Jericho. And this historic Latino Heat Jericho feud surely is going to continue now. Backstage we have got the Shield. All three members in huge matches this evening. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose are going to be defending the Tag Team Championships against John Cena and Daniel Bryan. And of course, Seth Rollins going to be challenging CM Punk in tonight's main event for the SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship. But huge match after huge match. This show is going to continue. Coming up next, probably the most personal match on this card. It is the grudge match between the former friends. It is going to be HBK Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. This match, a no disqualification street fight. These two men, best friends ever since 1996 when they formed one of the most dominant groups in wrestling history. Yes, I am talking D-Generation X. D-Generation X in many different forms survived in the years until it was D-Generation X versus the NWO in that huge Survivor Series tag team contest. As we remember, Vince McMahon declaring the losing team of that match would be forced to disband. As we found out, the NWO defeating DX, so DX forced to disband as a group. But Vince, showing some generosity the following Raw, allowing HBK and Triple H to team up one final time in that tag team match. HBK was going for the much needed tag, but Triple H dropping off the outside of the ring, and Triple H walking away, leaving Shawn Michaels in the ring in a 2-on-1 predicament. Then the following week, when HBK was getting attacked, Triple H music hit, Triple H runs towards the ring, and we thought Triple H was going to be saving his former tag team partner, but it was not to be. Instead, Triple H grabbing a steel chair and wrapping that chair around the head of his former best friend. And that is the basis of how this feud has begun. These two, as I said, former best friends, former D-Generation X stablemates, now going to be bitter enemies, and this match is a street fight. So no disqualification, anything goes. And this match already underway. HBK attacking Triple H before he can even get to the ring. This match so personal, gotta be the most personal match on this entire Backlash pay-per-view. Again, this match, a street fight, no disqualifications, anything goes. Referee cannot do anything to stop these guys. And HBK with that big suplex, sending Triple H down the hard way on the entrance ramp. Still on spine, is not going to feel good for anyone. Still very strange to see these two men going at it. Of course, we have seen these two men go at it over the years, but this time we thought DX was back for good. That, of course, is not how it's turned out. And these two, once best friends, yet again bitter enemies, once again in a one-on-one match with everything on the line. So much personal animosity in this contest. It truly is going to be a brutal match we're about to witness. The two men not even got to the ring yet, currently on the entrance ramp, all out brawling with each other. You can hear the crowd though, loving this contest so far. Oh, I think Triple H was at the thumb to the eye, and then definitely a low blow that time. The game that former 13-time world champion going to work on his former best friend. And HBK, of course, a former world champion in his own right, but compared to Triple H's 13 world championships, HBK only a 4-time world champion. Triple H going for the Eddie pedigree. Oh, but HBK reversing the pedigree. The back body drop, sending Triple H crashing through that table. That is a huge moment in this contest. You've got to think, if Triple H and HBK were in the ring after going through that table, that could potentially be enough to put the game down for the 1-2-3. But this match, despite being no DQ, has to be won inside the ring. So HBK there, not able to go for the cover. Triple H though, despite being set through that table, attempting to get back into this match. A steel chair now in hand. Triple H went for HBK to get to his feet, and as soon as HBK gets up, Triple H sending him straight back down, but still to the cranium. And because these two men know each other inside out, they know each other's weaknesses. Of course, both men well documented injuries in the past. Triple H with those quads and HBK with that back. So you've got to wonder whether or not that could come into play in this one. Finally though, both men in the ring, and now these former D-Generation X stablemates still going to war. The crowd, well, you can hear the crowd and exactly what they think of this one. Back in the ring, the brawl continuing. Triple H with those right hands, and now the huge knee to the face of HBK. Going downstairs, and again more hands by Triple H. Triple H, clearly the bigger man of the two, but never count out the Heartbreak Kid. A legendary career in the WWE, as I said before, a former 4-time world champion. But HBK's career almost goes above and beyond just world championship reigns. One of the most respected veterans in the WWE today, and no doubt a true legend of this business. Triple H still building his legacy here in the WWE, but to some, a legend in his own right. And hopefully, with both these potential legends, this is going to be a potentially legendary match. Triple H sending HBK down on the rope. Great move by Triple H. I think he was going to be going for the cover that time, but Michael's fighting back now. That flutter neck breaker. Picking the game to his feet. Michael sending Hunter into the corner, but Hunter out of the way. Going downstairs. Oh, intrigued by Triple H here, that spine buster. Calling Michael to his feet. Going to be going for that devastating pedigree again. But for the second time in this match, HBK getting out the pedigree. I said before, these two men know each other so well, so you've got to assume that is why HBK knows the perfect counter for the pedigree. Oh, Triple H in trouble. HBK with that drop kick down hard onto the game. And luring the game into the cover. HBK only had one count that time with that roll up. So this match does continue. Already we have seen steel chair shots, and we've even seen Triple H back body drop through a table. You've got to wonder what more these two men can do to each other in this one. It's got to be said, I think this one goes almost beyond just getting the victory. These two men truly want to hurt each other in this one. Again, that all because Triple H turning his back on HBK. Admittedly, DX was forced to end, but there's no reason these two men could not have continued their friendship outside of the group. But Triple H showing that evil side we have seen so many times over the years, and that evil side rearing its head yet again. Triple H wrapping that chair around the head of HBK, and Triple H turning his back on his best friend. On Raw recently, we saw these two men involved in that huge tag team contest involving Jericho and Eddie Guerrero. During that match, these two men brawling all the way backstage. A sign of things to come tonight. As you've already seen, this match has resembled more of a brawling match than a technical match, as many of us possibly expected. But under Street Fight rules, anything goes, as we are seeing HBK with the steel steps into the head of the game. And now Michael's doing the right thing, putting Triple H to his feet. The crowd loving every match they've seen so far on this pay-per-view. Of course, this is the third match of the evening. Still 3 matches to go after this one, including 2 World Championship matches. We're going to be seeing Goldberg taking on The Rock. We're also going to be seeing CM Punk taking on Seth Rollins. All that and more still to come. But back in this one, HBK tuning up the band. Going to be looking for that sweet chin music. Oh, but Triple H ducks it. Going to be going for the pedigree. No. Another reversal. That time Triple H being sent for another back body drop. That's the first time in this contest Michaels has reversed the pedigree. Again, that all coming back to the fact these two men know each other so well. They have battled so many times before. But these two men do continue this match. And what an amazing match it has been. HBK set out the corner into that neck breaker. And we know the history of HBK with that neck and back. So you've got to assume that is one area Triple H is going to be directing his offense on. But HBK, as we've seen over the years so many times, forming a comeback now, that crossbody and then the kip up. And now sending Triple H down to that DDT. Working on the arm. Deliberate offense here to Triple H. HBK trying to really put his authority on this one. But what a series of counters there. In the end, Triple H, that's vintage big knee. The knee to the face of HBK into the corner. Oh, but Michaels over the roll up. Oh, and Michaels coming so close that time to defeating his rival Triple H. But again, Triple H back in control. The much bigger man in this contest. Though as we've seen already this evening, despite the size difference, that does not always equal the win for the bigger man. Triple H now with that steel chair. Michaels groggy trying to get back into the ring, but Triple H taking Michaels down with that steel chair. And Michaels in deep trouble in this one. The cerebral assassin, an expert in these brawl type environments. Michaels though, not a stranger completely to it himself, going to the top rope, doesn't quite realise how close Triple H is, just about fighting him off, and a drop kick to follow up. Michaels with that big drop kick. Triple H now down in the centre of the ring. Michaels is side with a steel chair in his hands, waiting for Triple H to get to his feet, which he does. And as soon as Triple H gets up, Michaels takes him back down there with that big spinning wheel kick, sending that chair back into the face of the game. Michaels going underneath the ring, but can't quite seem to find what he's looking for. Triple H trying to take advantage, but Michaels again is that roll up. 2 count. Michaels again coming so close to defeating Triple H. But Triple H, as we have seen time and time again with that clothesline, big steel chair shot to the chest of Michaels this time. Michaels though continuing that resiliency, fighting back time after time. We can see now the trash can come into play, and Michaels over the top rope, but they game out of the way. Man, these two are putting on a clinic. What a match we are witnessing. Both these guys laying it all on the line. No titles on the line in this one. This one purely for pride. Do not forget the build we saw coming into this match. We've been through it already. But Triple H, after so many years of being best friends with HBK, turning his back. Now these two, once best friends, once the founders of D-Generation X, now bitter enemies. At Backlash 2014, these two men absolutely tearing each other apart. Michaels getting that lovely crossbody back into the ring. We can see a table now. We've already seen one table earlier on when HBK reversing that pedigree, back body dropping, Triple H through that table on the entrance ramp. And after going back and forth again, Triple H again finds himself in control, dropping Michaels throat first onto that top rope. And now Michaels could be in a world of trouble. Triple H placing HBK onto that table. And we don't see it too often, but Triple H is going to be venturing out to the top rope. Michaels though, quick like cat, as we have seen time and time again over the years. And this is not going to be good for Triple H if Michaels can connect. Can he get it? Yes, he can. The superplex through the table. Triple H down. This one could be over. But again, the cerebral assassin refusing to stay down. The former 13-time world champion continues his fight back. And that is the second time Triple H has been put through the table. The first time was a back body drop. The second time, a top rope superplex. You've got to wonder how in the hell the game is continuing in this fight. But you can definitely see the effects of that table on Triple H. But oh, here we go. The sledgehammer coming into play, but HBK this time grabs it. And this time sends that hammer into the abdomen of the game. That move certainly backfiring for Triple H. Michaels now shooting up the band. The crowd going insane. Going to be looking for that sweet chin music. Oh, but Triple H ducks it again. Pedigree time. Oh, and this time he connects. Triple H finally hitting that pedigree. This one could be over. Michaels again kicking out. Michaels now have a comeback of his own. Manhattan drop. Sweet chin music. Vintage HBK. HBK could have this one in the bag. Not to be. Triple H again kicking out. Say what you want about the game. This guy will just not stay down. The same could be said about HBK. And again, HBK, that steel chair shot to the skull of the game. Surely this match, only a matter of time until this one is coming towards the end. Michaels off the top rope with that signature elbow drop. And for the fourth time now, Michaels shooting at the band. Is he finally going to defeat the game tonight at Backlash? Yet again, Triple H ducks it from under the eye on a low blow. Remember, this match is clearly a no disqualification match. That low blow as legal as a headlock. And now Triple H, his best friend, that sledgehammer in hand. And this is never good for Triple H's opponent when this happens. Triple H, oh, stalking HBK, sledgehammer to the gut of Michaels. Oh, Triple H, the sledgehammer to the back of HBK, and we know the problems HBK has had with that back. Triple H taking advantage. A hammer shot, a chair shot. Michaels isn't moving. It is only a matter of time now. And just to cement the punishment on HBK, the pedigree onto that steel chair. Triple H into the cover. And this one finally coming to an end. Both guys kicking out of each other's finishing maneuvers. We've seen tables, chairs, trash cans. You name it, we have seen it. In the end, Triple H with that sledgehammer to the gut of Michaels, then to the back of Michaels, then the steel chair shot, then the pedigree on the steel chair. Triple H doing all he can do and defeating his bitter rival HBK tonight at Backlash. And before we continue tonight's epic pay-per-view, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to the band LockUpLaura for allowing us to use their song Dreaming of Insomnia for tonight's Backlash pay-per-view. The song is from their debut album titled Running in the Dark. Great music, great band. Check them out at youtube.com/LockUpLaura, as well as on their Facebook, Twitter and official website at LockUpLauramusic.co.uk. All their links can be found in the description below. And again, huge thanks to the band for allowing me to use their song for tonight's show. So please do go over to their sites and social media and give those guys some massive Team 101 love. But don't worry, Backlash is not over. We've still got so much more to come. Link in the description to part 2 of this huge and epic Universe Mode pay-per-view.